Hello and welcome to another episode of Moments of Consequence, our battle report series. Today for you, we have Dylan versus Barrett, 2,000 points, oblique deployment, and dominate the field as our objective. I hope you enjoy. Hello and welcome, friends, to another episode of Moments of Consequence, our battle report series. I am back in the house with Dylan. Dylan, what's going on, my friend?
It's going great. It's good to be here, getting my battle in.
That is so great to be back in Kansas City and playing a game with you. You have brought your Empire back for another match. They are pining for a rematch to settle a grudge. Last time against Lizardmen, this time against Chaos. Why don't you go ahead and tell us who you're bringing? We're playing 2,000 points. Dominate the field. Actually, the first objective, we rolled a 1 on the objective. We're playing dominate the field, oblique deployment. At 2,000 points. So go ahead, take it away, Dylan. What did you bring today?
We'll start over here on my left flank. We're starting with a great cannon up here on the hill. Next to them, we got 10 Knightly Order ready to go. Other side of this impassable terrain, we got a Hellblaster volley gun. We'll see what that does. We got 20 handgunners ready to go. In this unit, we got 19 swordsmen and our first character, my general, my wizard lord in here, level 4, Amber Magic.
Very cool.
Then we got, how many? 23 great swordsmen, and we got our BSB in there, right in the middle. Next to them, we got 29 halberdiers with a warrior priest in the middle, and our ogre unit fillers for fun. Over here on the flank, we got 5 mounted Reichsguard knights. And that is the forces of Ostland for today.
All right, for Chaos, we have 10 Marauder horsemen with spears and light armor. We have 12 Chaos warriors with great weapons. The BSB is standing there with a level 2 mage on one of the magic runes that we rolled on the streamline setup rules. So yeah, 12 and then 2 characters in that unit. We have a Cyclops from the Beastman Codex. He is got the Stone Thrower and then all the rules of a giant. 12 Plague Bearers with the Musician and Standard Bearer, and then 5 Chaos Knights of Nurgle with the Standard Bearer and Musician, and then a hero leading them into battle. And that is 2,000 points of Nurgle Chaos Warriors.
All right, top of turn 1, the Empire. We just shuffle forward a little bit with these units. These guys moved up, and these guys just kind of got in position, a little blob here. Handgunners moved up a tad so they couldn't shoot. He's sitting there just waiting for his time to strike. Knights just kind of reformed a little bit, just kind of see what happens over here. The shooting phase, we decided not to shoot with these two. They also moved. But the cannon shot at the Cyclops and hit him dead on, and then wounded him, and then rolled a 1 to wound.
Oh, no.
Or a 1 on the wound roll. So we only did 1 wound to the Cyclops, and then that was the end of Empire turn 1.
All right, at the end of Chaos turn 1, we had some shuffling on this side of the board. The Cyclops threw the boulder at this unit of knights. What kind of knights again?
Reichsguard Knights.
Reichsguard Knights, and missed violently. And it flew scattered into nothingness. That unit stayed still because it is touching the rune and wants to get the benefit of the magic phase. And then that unit actually scooted back. And that is the end of Chaos turn 1.
All right, Empire top of turn 2. Start with a movement. We have no charges to declare. These guys just kind of shuffled forward. The conga line's going on here. And the Knights move back a little bit. Going on to shooting, we had a big shooting phase. The handgunners shot into the Chaos Knights or Chaos Warriors over there, killing 5 of them. Next to them, the Hellblaster volley gun rolled a misfire on the very first shot, and so all 9 barrels shot over there at the Chaos Knights and took out the entire unit save the BSB.
That's actually my hero, and then you killed 3 warriors over here, but keep going.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
My cannon shot again, a perfect shot at the Cyclops once more. We ended up killing 1 Plague Bear on the way, and then we did not wound the Giant, so no damage done to him. Except for, later on in the magic phase, we did a magic missile at the Cyclops, taking off 2 wounds.
Hunting spear.
Hunting spear. And in return, he casted a Doomfire Ring, taking off 4 of the handgunners. And he also got off the pillar to put his magician up in the air. He can only be shot at or attacked by flying creatures now. And that is the end of Empire turn 2.
All right, for Nurgle turn 2, there was some charging that happened to start the turn off. The Chaos Giant Cyclops charged into the front of the Great Swords. In that combat, we had the Giant doing 8 wounds and receiving the Cyclops receiving a wound back on him to start that combat over there. Over here, the Chaos Champion took the Flight Chaos gift, was noticed by the gods, has +1 attack now, but overran and, got into combat with the Knights and beat them in combat, made them flee, chose to stand still. In the magic phase, we had the Doomfire Ring do some more wounds. Unfortunately, it was not enough to cause a break in the panic check, and Dylan had no magic coming back from the Empire, so we are off to Empire turn 3.
All right, top of turn 3, the Empire just went. Over here, our Knights rallied and stood put. We got a lucky snipe off with the cannon. We end up killing his Chaos Hero with just enough wounds. Over here, these handgunners shot into the Plague Bears. Oh no, shot into the Chaos Warriors and did 1 wound. Over here, the Great Swords won the combat against the Cyclops, but took a lot of damage from the Cyclops and a lot of damage later on from a Doomfire Ring. Also in the magic phase, I managed to get rid of his pesky pillar that was keeping his wizard up in the air. And then
Flock of Doom.
And then we flocked to Doom, 1 Plague Bear. And that was the turn. Empire turn 3.
All right, for Nurgle turn 3, I had my Plague Bearers charge the handgunners. The handgunners fled, and they moved up 4 inches and could not get into combat. The warrior unit decided to move forward. The unit of Marauder Horsemen charged into the Halberdiers, which have the phalanx standard, so it was a very, very interesting combat. The Marauders charged in, did a lot of damage, but however, with the phalanx standard combined with Halberdiers' special +1 strength, they did a lot of damage back to the Marauders.
Warrior Priest held because it's
stubborn, and then there's also hatred in there too. So just a really effective unit, just a very nasty unit. And in the magic phase, Drain Magic was eventually played, took away all the power spells. All of the remaining plays that were on the board were taken off the board, and the level 4 wizard that is back here eventually lost the role and lost a magic wizard, or wizard level, yeah. So now he is a level 3. Is that correct? Very good. So that was Chaos turn 3.
All right, Empire turn 4. A few things happened over here. The Knights just marched on forward their full movement, getting into position. Our cannon took a big old shot against the Plague Bears and took out 5 of them, just going down a rank. Over here, our Knights charged into the Marauders, and them combined with the Halberdiers were able to wipe out that unit. So they overran into the Chaos Knights, the Chaos Warriors. A BSB left the Great Swords unit, went over here, and this unit just kind of moved on forward.
And Gunners rallied. In the magic phase, a lot of back and forth, but nothing really went off. And that was it. Turn 4.
All right, that was a very quick Chaos turn 4. The Plague Bearers were march blocks, so all they could do was move up 4 inches. At the start of combat, the character that I had left, the last one, was trying to use some gifts and try to pump himself up for combat so that these guys would not be able to kill him. Rolled a 5, followed by a 1, and turned into a Chaos Spawn. They did 1 wound to the Chaos Spawn. Chaos Spawn could do nothing back, and I ended up drawing the combat by having 2 banners against the flank and the 1 wound. Because I had no caster, we actually rolled Snake Eyes for the wins, and this is the second time this battle we've rolled Snake Eyes for the wins. And so nothing really happened. That wizard, the level 3 wizard, that's Amber, pocketed a magic card, but I obviously have no more wizards, so that was Chaos turn 4.
All right, so Empire turn 5. What we did here was we charged into the Chaos Warrior unit with, let's restart. All right, Empire turn 5. We continued our combat here. I was just able to kill the spawn and got the unit to flee after failing a BSB reroll, but I was just out of range to get them. Some inconsequential stuff happened in the magic phase, and we did some re-maneuvering over here to get those objectives. In the Chaos turn 5, the Chaos Warriors came back and rallied, and then nothing else happened in the magic, and then we rolled off, and that was the game. So at the end of the game, it turned out to be an ultimate victory for the Empire. We got plenty of victory points, getting the objective coming out and killing most of the Chaos Army while still retaining most of ours. So that's the game. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll move on to the post-battle report.
All right, welcome back to some post-game. I've got Dylan here with me. Just absolutely dejected about how just the thrashing my poor Nurgle warriors. They seemed so tough, yet in the face of the great. Now tell me the faction that you run them as.
Oh, the Ostland faction of the Empire.
Ostland, the might of the Ostland cannon and Hellblasters was just too much. Dylan, great job.
Thank you. It was a great game. It was good to get involved. Yeah, I feel like a lot of things just really went my way. The shooting was really on point. I got so many dispels. The magic, I was getting the magic that I wanted for the most part, and so I really felt like I had a lot of control over the game in that way.
And the magic too was like you had a level 4, I had a level 2. You were still dispelling on a 4-up. I was still dispelling on a 4-up. We didn't have the Staff of 3 Sisters, either one of us, so it was very coin flippy. And you caught a lot of heads, and I caught a few tails, a few heads. I got to dispel a couple spells, but like for the most part, you controlled the magic base. But ironically, not because you had a level 4,
yeah.
Just because that's kind of how the dice went. I loved the. I'm also a big fan of the lore of Amber. You used it well. The Amber.
Trance.
Not trance. He didn't use the amber trance. It was
the spear.
The spear. The hunting spear. The hunting spear was very, very, very strong. Did wounds to the giant. Was very annoying to deal with. And was was a very strong spell that you used to great effect. Killed some plague bearers late. Killed some chaos warriors late. So like you just used that spell a lot to great effect. But yeah, so when we talk about moments of consequence all the time, and this game had a really awesome moment of consequence, probably one of the most unique ones. I don't know how many times you might play the game of Warhammer Renaissance and this moment happened, but Dylan, why don't you go ahead and break down what happened on top of shooting turn 1.
Yeah, so the magic was good, but the shooting was probably even better. So I had 2 opportunities to snipe the Cyclops with the cannon, which was nice, but whiffed on both of them. It did a little bit of damage, but was there and could have got it done. But the big one was rolling the misfire on the very first shot on the Hellblaster volley gun, meaning that all 9 barrels go off at once, and I rolled very well on those and managed to get rid of all of those knights.
So 44 hits on the
Yeah.
Chaos Knights in total, 21 wounds, even with the banner of missile protection. So Barrett had a 3-up armor save and a 4-up ward save. 21 wounds, 3-up, 4-up was enough to kill 5 of them, which was the unit.
And then sniping that Chaos Hero later on with the cannon again, just kind of added to that.
And that was going to be on like probably like turn 3 shooting. You had that you had the cannon kill the hero, and I decided not to run down the unit of knights, and I took the risk of the cannon shooting me in the face because I was just like, okay, look, if the knights rally, I have a 50. I basically a coin flip that they don't rally. You know what I mean? 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10 feels like a coin flip, and they're only leadership 7 outside of the bubble of both BSB and the general. So I felt really good about my chances of it still running away. And I just took a calculated risk that, like, even if I would have chased them down, your cannon still would have been able to just pivot and shoot it there anyways, which would have been the right call no matter what. So I just very quickly ran through all the scenarios and decided to park my hero there. Try to make it go back down the line and go mess with the handgunners, and then go back into the main line. But like you said, the cannonball sniped him, killed him, took him out of the game. You had some really, really baller units. I think you had some great Empire block units. You ran them big and wide and tall, and like that's not very common in the meta that we run, so like it's really cool. Why don't you talk about the 2 units, your 2 best block units that you ran today?
Yeah, I got started in 8th, so I love my big units. I just love having the giant regiments of Empire soldiers, so I love running them big. But I had 29 Halberdiers. They had the Phalanx standard on them, and they were also in there with the Warrior Priest, so they were getting that extra rank of attacks plus the Hatred reroll. And that was just mountains of attacks. I wanted to get near Chaos Warriors. I wanted to get in something that was just juicy and then just dish out attacks.
6 frontage too, right?
Yep, 6 frontage.
Yeah.
So I knew I could just have some damage with that. And them being supported by the Great Swords, which was because kind of my can opener. Still trying to get them back to what they were in older editions by trying to up their armor save and giving them that stubborn with the Bennett of an unyielding, which came in handy. So just having a unit that does a lot of strength and a decent number of attacks that's not going to run away with the BSB inside of it is just, I love doing it. Besides that, the Knights did well. They did what they needed to do. Yeah, great swords. Knights did what they needed to do. But you made the right decision not running the hero after them. They were out of the battle anyway after that point, and so you were free to go do something else. But I just got you with the cannon there. Yeah.
brutal. But that's how she goes sometimes. I thought the Warrior Priest unit with Hatred and the Halberds was really, really strong. I thought that unit was like, I thought I did a ton of damage. I thought I did enough to like mitigate the attacks coming back. I mean, you still had a ton.
Wounds.
You still had a ton like in there still, but like I thought I did enough to do more effect than it did, but it wasn't meant to be.
A lot of them died. They just weren't going to run away.
Right. I think the banner of Unyielding, for any Horde infantry army, so we're talking Skaven, Empire, anybody who wants to go wide and a little bit deep with their regiments. I mean, you just have to have a banner somewhere that has the banner of Unyielding. It's just such a great tar pit. I mean, it's stubborn, which again, when you're losing combat by, if you know that you're going to lose combat by 6, 8, or 10, but it just doesn't matter because I'm just rolling on my leadership. And sometimes with the BSB, like I think one of the big things that I missed on the game too was I was not very good about directing my attacks to like your characters. I noticed that after the combat round, I'd be like, I wanted to throw some attacks into the BSB. Might not have mattered, but it was definitely like just your BSB combined with that banner was just very, very strong. I think that's one of the best banners.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's one of the best banners.
Stubborn is just such a strong rule that it's great to have. But I think part of it was also I just played very reserved. I knew I could get you with magic. I knew I could get you with shooting. And I knew once we got in close combat, I had a chance, even though you were really good at close combat. So it was just wearing you down so you got to me. I think I did a good job of just pacing the battle and then getting those fights that I needed to get the fights.
I don't think I could have changed the pace at all. I think that because I'm Nurgle and because I'm Chaos Warriors, and I even tried to take some some fast moving units, but I don't think I could have pressed any harder. I think I pressed as hard as I could.
Yeah, you came right up the board.
Like I kind of danced with my Marauders a little bit, but I really do think that like I just didn't want to do a foolhardy charge where I knew I would lose or get countercharged so hard if I did not overrun, which again, when you have 30 state troops there, no matter how good your charge is, can it make 30 state troops run or 22 state troops after you kill 8 of them? Like, probably not. They're probably not running still, especially if they're near the battle line still. So I don't know if I could have pressed any faster. And for you to also be able to play reserved and then lean into that, right? Like, okay, so there's going to be an obvious cadence to this game as Empire, and if I can get great shooting like you did, which you had the most epic variance of all time with your Hellblaster, which again, you don't need that every time, but like, by God, it helps.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty cool.
It's a hit or miss. Like, you can roll that misfire, get all those shots, or you can just be rolling 10s. But if you roll a 2 and a misfire and your first shooting, then it's just done. It's out of the game.
And it actually wasn't, let me correct from earlier, I just now realized this. I messed up. I said at the top of turn 1, it was actually you saved it. You didn't shoot at turn 1. You shot at turn 2. So I thought that was a really cool little wrinkle too. So yeah, that was really good. Thank you so much for hosting. Your setup is immaculate. The lighting is incredible. It really gives like this thematic, this epic feel to the battle, and I hope that comes through on the video. And again, I just can't thank you enough. So good job, my boy.
Yeah, happy to host. It was a great battle. Thanks for coming by.
Good job, man. All right, thanks, man. You're him.